Welcome back for another book review. This one, I cannot show you the cover of the book because it's an interloan library. So what that means is they have all of the details of everything and I cannot take the paper off. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna show you this page of the beautiful book. So here we go. This is the book we're talking about today. You saw it from the thumbnail, but yeah, this one. So this is Lighting the Wick, an intuitive guide to the ancient art and modern magic of candles by Sandra, Mariah, Wright, and Leanne, Marrama, something, names, I suck at them. I'm pretty sure another one that I'm going to talk about that I'm recording tonight as of recording. I don't know the order you're saying things, but I'm pretty sure I mispronounced one of the author's names with like such confidence, and I'm like, ugh. So yeah, I tend to not always get it right. So anywho's, this book, I loved it. So it goes over just kind of what the title suggests. This is like the book for candle magic. It talks about how to do candle magic. And you'd think it'd be kind of hard to fill that amount of a book because it's a decent sized book, but it does such a good job. And the two authors, they have a very unique perspective because they are witches in Salem, like Salem, Massachusetts, not the Salems of other states. I swear every state has a Salem. We have a Salem here in Utah. It's not magical. I'm pretty sure it's a relatively small town that like nobody thinks about, but they exist. And I think even like Oregon has a Salem. I want to say California. Like there's so many that have Salems, but like the Salem, the witch central of the world. And so I think being there and having such a diverse amount of like witch folk that are gonna be there, because like that's like our place, you know, like, you know, we've kind of reclaimed that place of the world, like, nah, the witches are back, bitches, like, you know, so they're there and they've got a very different perspective, I think, being in that community. And I think it works in their benefit for this book because they bring that knowledge to this book and they talk a lot about various kinds of ways to use candle magic. And to be honest, like, I love candle magic and I have such an issue when I write my books because that is my go-to. I'm like, I get tired of like my own stuff. I'm like, people are gonna get so sick of this because everything is like, just light a candle, just light a candle, just do a candle, do other stuff with a candle. A candle is the thing to do. And I'm like, I should do other forms of magic, but candle magic is my favorite. And like, to be honest, when I do magic, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a candle. And so this book kind of like solidified my feelings of like, yeah, turn to candles. They fix everything. And they described it just in such detail and in such a chill but very informative way. It's really, really good. So needless to say, I gave this one a 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved this book. These are authors I would love to just get into like have an afternoon and just sit like in like a coffee shop or like a witchy tea place and like just have a cup of tea and chill and just listen to them and just chit chat. Like I feel like they would be just so much fun to interact with. They have such a good vibe throughout this book. Like you can just tell they're super knowledgeable but also very approachable. They're very happy to tell you their own mistakes and things that they've tried and things they've seen with their clients. Like it's just so well written. And honestly, I was very nervous going into this book because like there's been quite a few of the candle magic books that have been a flop. And like, again, I love candle magic, so I was kind of prepared for like, okay, like even Raymond Buckland, his book on candle magic, the advanced one was I think a little bit better, but the beginner one sucked. Like I didn't like that one at all. Like half the book was like the Christian version of the same thing. And this was not that. This was very just witch-based functioning to get through with your life. Like there are so many different spells for a variety of different things. There's a lot that I would like to try at home. And like there's just a lot of little things that I think would be very, very helpful to try. And I want to read their other book. Apparently they wrote another one. This one does have a little bit of the pandemic vibe because they were writing it during the pandemic. And again, books from that time are very, very adamant of like, the world's gonna be different. And like, I'm gonna be real. Our daily life here is exactly the same. Like where I live, everyone we interact with, every single thing is the same. Like nothing's changed at all. But reading it, like in the uncertain times and like but now we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and like it definitely dates the book to like a very few couple years. And so it's kind of fun to read through that, to be like, how would this book have been written differently if it had been written before that? Or like now compared to then. Like it was just such a niche little time, kind of like when 9/11 happened. If you read witchcraft books from that like 2002 that were written in 2001, it's wild. They mention it a lot, especially for American witches. It gets brought up semi-frequently, and it's kind of the same thing with COVID. And so yeah, it was kind of interesting. It does have that little bit of a flavor to it, so if that bothers you, it's not like a huge portion of the book, but it's definitely there. And so it's like some people, like they do, you know, it gets a little old sometimes, so if you need a break from that kind of writing, like maybe pass on this for a minute. But like it wasn't bad enough that I really hated it, because like some of them I roll my eyes a lot, because for some people it really affected their lives dramatically, and for like a lot of the people I know, everyone in my like circle of existence, it didn't affect us at all. We just had to wear a mask, and that was it. It was the same thing. Same health problems still persisted, like really nothing changed. And working healthcare, it still sucked. You didn't get a break. You know, it wasn't like, oh my god, we're at home forever. It was like, cool, we get home for like a couple weeks. Cool, and also we're on call. Like it didn't affect us as much. So that kind of part always does like kind of pull me from the authors, but it wasn't enough in this one to like make me hate it, because there's been some that I just am like, ugh. This one, not really. This one I actually ended up enjoying so much that I could actually look past that. So I would definitely recommend this book to anyone who is looking into candle magic, if that's a type of magic that you want to get into, or if like me you love candles. This is a book to get. It's really, really well written. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, bless be.